Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought it would be interesting to do a check-in on your past, present, and future. So this is checking in on where you're at in your spiritual journey in this lifetime and getting some advice from spirit, some guidance from your spirit guides, maybe some insight or clarity into certain things that have happened, certain things that might currently be happening, and some advice for your future, the next phase or cycle that you might be going through. So I thought that was an interesting idea for a video. It was actually suggested to me by a commenter, so thank you so much for that. And with that said, please feel free to pause the video, pick whichever card is speaking the most to you, and let's get into today's reading. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Ace of Moons, which would be the Ace of Cups, then this is going to be your reading for today. We are going to do a bit of a check-in on where you are at in your spiritual journey in this lifetime. Maybe get some clarity, some insight, some advice and guidance from spirit. We're going to take a look at specifically your past energies, past lessons, and previous cycles that you've been through. Take a look at the present, what you are currently dealing with, and maybe get some advice and guidance for that. And then we're going to take a look at the future. So your next cycle, the next phase of your growth and learning and your spiritual development in this lifetime. So that's kind of the breakdown of how we're going to do this reading. I will say that I don't think I've ever done a reading like this before. So we're just going to take it one step at a time and see how it goes. And with that said, let's get into it. What can you tell me about Pile 1's past experiences? What can you tell me about Pile 1's previous cycles? Okay. Okay, so the first card that we have for you is the Seven of Stars. This would be the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, I love this. Okay, we have the Ten of Stars. This would be the Ten of Pentacles. And then we're going to get your Oracle card. And we have balance here. So I'm going to describe what I'm seeing in these cards, and then if you feel like this doesn't resonate for you at all and doesn't apply to you at all, then I would say that that is a good indication that that this is not your pile. So we're going to start with some past stuff that you might have been through. I will say my initial impression is this is kind of giving me the sense that you might have gone through some cycles and some experiences where you really needed to evaluate where you were putting your time and your energy and your effort. And I think that you might have gone through a long period of time where you might have felt like you were kind of like spinning your wheels, you know, like you kept trying to cultivate something, kept trying to maybe manifest something, attract some abundance towards you, however that resonates for you, just trying really hard to put all of your like time, effort into achieving a specific goal. And it might have been part of the lesson here might have been needing to learn to let go of the outcome. And I know that's frustrating. That's totally frustrating. And for me, that I could definitely resonate with this being one of my major life lessons of really, really needing to learn how to surrender the outcome. And continuing to move forward with faith that that things are going to work out, that the things that I want, the abundance that I'm trying to attract is going to work out if I continue to nurture the things that I need to nurture. I continue to work on myself. And it could be that there might have been a lesson here about focusing away from money, finances, and material abundance, and learning to focus on cultivating self-care and nurturing towards the things that you actually value in terms of interpersonal relationships, in terms of family, figuring out what family means to you, family relationships. It could be that, you know, your family of origin is not the best, and you know, you might have needed to kind of learn, okay, well, I'm going to look for my found family then, or I'm going to look for my soul family, and figuring out a way to balance those things, like it's okay to want more. It is okay to have goals. It's okay to have dreams. You know, it's okay to want to manifest something, you know, and at the same time, it's like it's also okay just to work towards balance, to put it that way. I don't know if I'm articulating this very well, but the journey from the Seven of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles talks to me about needing to reevaluate what abundance means to you, because your work here is like, it's like working really hard, not necessarily seeing the effort or the you're seeing your efforts pay off the way that they should be, or the way that you feel that they should be. And so reevaluating what that abundance means to you, that's what's attracting that abundance in. And again, as the abundance, it can mean different things to different people. Could be, as I said, like needing to focus away from money and material gains in order to focus more on being abundant in terms of your interpersonal relationships, or being abundant in terms of, you know, just living a peaceful life. That can feel abundant for people. Or it could be, you know, something totally different, like maybe, you know, maybe like working really hard towards finding peace and stability in your interpersonal relationships wasn't working for whatever reason, and so you decided to refocus on your career, and then that really took off, and now you have a lot of material abundance. It could be like, you know, either or the other way around, but again, it's talking about like something here wasn't working. So then we shifted to focus on balance, and now we have the abundance that we wanted. But it was just, there was something here that was blocked or delayed because of where we were putting our focus. That's what's coming to me. And there's a real sense of comfort, safety, stability here. Yes, it is. The Ten of Pentacles, very much associated with wealth, generational wealth, a lot of financial abundance, but it's also like a real feeling of stability, security, safety. And the number 4 is a very safe, secure, stable number. And I would say that it would be interesting to see. But there's a concept in numerology, I believe it's called like a pinnacle. You know, it's like describing one phase of your life. And there are specific phases in all of our lives that are kind of, we have like a pinnacle number. You can look up, it's kind of like a more in-depth numerology concept. But it could be that like this phase in your life, the past phase you've already worked through, was about the number 4. Could have been, because it's like safety, stability, security. And finding out a balance, like working on a routine, self-care, and there's also like a focus on home and family systems. How does that work into your routine? Figuring out what your balance is. Where do you feel safe? What gives you that feeling of security? You know, is it tied to your interpersonal relationships? Is it tied to your financial abundance? And examining those relationships to try to figure out where there might be some unhealthy thought patterns or behaviors that might be holding you back in some way, and like rooting that stuff out so that you can kind of release it, to put it that way. And there's this, the balance card is, because this bird is kind of like balancing on a wire, you know, and the winds can blow by, and, you know, the weather around them can change, but they are kind of just comfortably balanced here. And it's kind of, there's an energy of maybe being like a stone in a river, because you have this sense of balance, this sense of safety, security, stability, whatever, however this resonates for you, whatever this means for you, because you have like being steady, like the stone, pentacles, very steady, stable energy, grounded, very grounded energy. The winds of life can change. Your external circumstances can change. They can change unexpectedly. Things can happen, could be tower moments, traumatic events, but because you have this internal balance, this internal sense of stability, it's like this is telling me you might have done some real kind of like root chakra healing here, like a very strong root chakra, a very strong sense of stability and belonging that whenever the winds of life change, it's like nothing can really uproot that feeling of safety and security, no matter what happens in your external world. So I think that if this is resonating for you as something that you have been working through, and something that has been maybe part of your life lesson up to this point, then I would take that as confirmation that this is your pile. And then with that said, we are going to move into the next part of the reading, which is going to be about your present energy, the present growth cycle lessons that are going on for you right now, and hopefully get some guidance for Spirit about how to work through that. And we're going to start with the tarot. Spirit, what can you tell me about... Oh, okay. All right. We have... Oh, okay, we have the Nine of Moons. This would be the Nine of Cups. And that's an interesting energy. I want to say, like, having a past energy being this Ten of Pentacles, I was going to say, like, I was thinking, it's likely that you have done a lot of healing. You've done, like, a lot of spiritual work. And you might be, currently in a phase of life where things are good. Yeah, and I will see what the other card is, but with the Nine of Cups here, like that is kind of, what I would say about that. Like, you might be currently in a phase where you are largely feeling fulfilled and happy. And then we have the King of Swords here. And yeah, the King of Swords here. Feeling really positive, feeling like very positive, very fulfilled. You have a sense of purpose, you have a sense of clarity, and you're really kind of standing in your power, embracing your personal power, and I love that for you. If you feel like you're not quite there yet, they're definitely, if this is your present phase, this might be saying, like, these are going to be the end goal of of what you're currently working through. Is going to be being in this Nine of Cups, King of Swords energy. This is a very powerful energy, and I love that for you. So we're going to get your Oracle card. Okay, so we have Death here. And, we'll get more into it, but this could be saying, like, if you're not currently resonating with this Nine of Cups, King of Swords energy, that's okay, because I think that the spiritual work we're talking about here is being represented on this Death card. And, and I will say, like, there is a sense of achievement and fulfillment that comes with the Ten of Pentacles, of, like, finally having received the abundance you were working so hard to get. With the Seven of Pentacles, is saying, like, I nurtured this. I really worked my butt off for this, and it's paid off. And then having that feeling being reflected in the Nine of Cups. This could be saying, like, your present energy might be, there's a little bit of this, like, really satisfied, fulfilled feeling of, like, I really achieved something here and I'm so proud of myself. And also there's still other things, other aspects of my life, more work to do here. And again, this could also be saying, if you feel like you're not currently in this energy, could be the work being represented here on the Death card. So I just wanted to say that. And I mean, the message of this card is just very tied into the Death card in tarot. Transformation, moving from one cycle to the next, and like shedding an old skin that no longer fits you. Like, I would associate this with kind of like a snake spirit energy of, you have outgrown the previous version of yourself. And this is about making a choice to move forward into the unknown, knowing that this newer version of yourself is just as authentic as the previous version, but you need to make different choices, different decisions that are in alignment with the newer version of yourself. And I can see you doing that with the King of Swords. I think that if this is being represented of, there's a transitional time here where you are moving forward in the energy of the King of Swords. And it's interesting because there's a lot of emotions on the Nine of Cups, and they're like very pleasant emotions, again, feeling fulfilled, feeling accomplished. You've got the thing you were trying to manifest, feeling very abundant and very appreciative and very grateful. There's kind of a juxtaposed energy. The King of Swords is very logical, rational, very honest, a big sense of lots of clarity, lots of purpose, responsible energy and assertive energy. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to say it how it is. but the King of Swords is not very concerned with emotion. The King of Swords does not make decisions based on emotions. They make the decision that is the most logical at the point in time when they're making that choice, and it's like with a sense of decisiveness of, this was the right thing to do at the time, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm not going to second guess myself. We're going to make this choice. We're going to move forward. So that's not necessarily a bad or negative energy, particularly if you would identify as somebody who, something that's occurring to me, you might identify as somebody who has had to learn not to give all of your energy to everybody all the time. You might identify as somebody who has had some very imbalanced relationships where you were always nurturing other people, you were always giving your energy away, always wanting to help, always wanting to being the one doing all the emotional labor in the relationship, not because you wanted to, but it might have been that's just how you naturally are, very giving, very generous, and having to learn a lesson where, where you needed to ask yourself the hard question of, is this something I should be putting all of my time and energy towards, or should I be working towards an equal partnership? Should I be, this is like reevaluating your priorities and your values and saying oh, I don't always want to be giving. I don't want to be it's good to be nurturing, and helpful to others, when they are in an energy where they can appreciate and reciprocate that. And so that's maybe part of the shift here towards balance. It's like work-life balance, balance in terms of our priorities, getting to a place where we can withstand kind of the ups and downs of life. Yes, that can be represented here. Could also be talking about balanced relationships, and particularly balanced relationships with family, with the Ten of Pentacles here. There's a connection to family here, and that's why I was talking about family so much. There might have been some change that you needed to make. Standing up for yourself to family members might be part of this current cycle that you're going through, because you might have realized here that's what you want. That's part of your Ten of Pentacles. Is having balanced connections with family members who might be in maybe unhealthy energies, might be in and it might not be malicious, and I totally identify with this as well, of needing to step into a King of Swords energy so that I could stand up for myself, so that I could feel empowered and be empowered to make decisions about my own life, to take responsibility for the directions of my own life, to take responsibility for figuring out what my priorities were, and then choosing to move forward towards that without needing anybody else's permission to do that, and to say this is the right choice for me to make for myself at this time, and I needed to be in this King of Swords energy to feel like I could do that, because when I was in my, King of Cups, Queen of Cups energy, I felt if I'm constantly considering how the other person is going to be feeling about these decisions that I know I need to make for myself, I just felt like I wouldn't have the capacity, I wouldn't have the follow through to make those decisions. It's I needed to be a little bit detached from my emotional side to get stuff done. And that, I think, is what is being represented on this King of Swords right now. This is, I think, part of the lesson here, that you are currently going through this transformative process, standing up for yourself, stepping into your boss energy. Of all the cards, in my personal opinion, I see the King of Swords as being the most boss, the King and Queen, to be honest, both of them together, very boss energy, CEO energy, and needing to step into that energy for yourself right now, in order to be able to again, navigate this transitional time, these choices, changes, and step into this new version of yourself as the King of Swords. And the beauty of it's we can put on the mantle of the King of Swords for as long as we need to, and then we can transition into a new energy. We're always changing, we're always shifting. The death is inevitable. We go through cycles of growth, cycles of rebirth. And so it's, I think that it is in fact a healthy thing for you to be in this King of Swords energy right now, and focusing on, you know, feeling like there's a juxtaposition between very emotional energy in the Nine of Cups, of very positive emotions, and also an intelligent, rational, logical, calculated, planner type of energy on the King of Swords. Like, I have a sense of purpose. I know where I'm going next. I have like a 24-part plan, you know, and I'm going to execute it. I'm going to make it happen because I have empowered myself to do that. And again, I think that's a very beautiful, healthy energy for you to be in right now. And that might be something that you are currently working towards. And I think that's great, you know. And we'll see in the next part of the reading what advice Spirit has for you about the next phase, the next cycle of where you're going to be moving into after your current phase. So what advice or guidance do you have? Okay. Love this. We have another king. This is the King of Stars, would be the King of Pentacles. So more Pentacles energy. There's a lot of like really practical energy here, very grounded energy. I think that part of, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I think it was really important for you to go through this phase and cycle and learn this lesson here so that you could embody the energy of the King of Pentacles over here. So it's just, for me, it's a message about how Spirit works, you know, in a way that's like, it makes sense in hindsight, that we needed to learn this over here so that we could eventually get to this over here. And I think this part in the middle is also very important. We have the King of Pentacles here. Beautiful. I love that for you. Still wearing your crown as the king of your own life, regardless of your gender. Love that. Let's get one more card. Okay. Okay, so then we have, okay, we have the Three of Cups here, or the Three of Moons, as it were. And yeah, it's a very celebratory energy. If you feel like you have been trying to attract soul family members towards you, I would say that they are going to be coming in when you are in your King of Pentacles energy in this next cycle. I would take this, the Three of Cups, as a confirmation of that. I associate this card with soul family and soulmates. So if that resonates for you, I would take this as a message about that. And like, I feel like you might currently be feeling like you've really worked hard to manifest something and feeling good about that. It might not be like everything you want, you know, might not be like, you know, I have my dream life all at once. It could be that, you know, I've worked really hard on this. I'm really enjoying the effects of that. You know, we're still transitioning. I'm still working on getting into my King of Swords energy and really kind of living my life as the King of Swords right now, while I make these changes and choices that are important right now. And then moving forward in the energy of the King of Pentacles, kind of combining all this Pentacles energy with the energy of the King of Swords. And I love that. And again, being in this energy is going to attract people in towards you who are soul family, who are soul mates, platonic or romantic, if that resonates for you. And I think that's a beautiful message for you. And then for your Oracle card, we have Goose, which says, take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. Yeah, with the celebratory energy of the Three of Moons, the Three of Cups, I would also associate this with kind of your spirit guides giving you a high five. You know, you've done a lot of work here. You know, this is just, I think that you've really kind of stepped up for yourself so far in your spiritual journey. And I feel like this is just a message, again, from Spirit to be like, you know, with the energy of the King of Pentacles, like, let's focus on, you know, let's refocus instead of, like, this is long-term goals. Let's focus on our long-term goals, showing up every day, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our daily responsibilities, you know, and get into a really kind of grounded energy here. We have, you know, with the King of Pentacles, very abundant, being in an abundant mindset, enjoying the things that we have worked really hard to achieve, and then celebrating ourselves, where we're at in our life, and making time for friends and for beloved people, other family members, and just giving yourself a break. You've done a lot of work here, and I just think this is going to be like feeling it like a really good energy to feel like you are in. I also want to mention I just recently watched both Top Gun movies, and Goose is one of the characters there. I think the message of that would be about soul family with the goose here. So I did want to mention that as well. Yeah, the King of Pentacles, long-term goals, one day at a time kind of energy, rather than feeling like, oh, I need to accomplish this, and this thing. I need to do everything right now. It's like saying, okay, I've accomplished so much. Let's take time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And I will also say, if you resonated with like most of the message here, and you still feel like you have not yet received financial or material abundance, like money, like a certain level of money here, and you're like saying this, maybe this isn't part of the message for me. The King of Pentacles here is also financially abundant. There might be a message that maybe one of the reasons why you feel like you can kind of rest and relax here is because being like your current things you're currently working on, being in this energy of the King of Swords, really like advocating for yourself, asking for exactly what you want because you know you deserve it, and just like really just embracing this King of Swords energy and bringing this into every aspect of your life right now as you are shifting and changing might also attract money. This might result in money coming in the next phase with the King of Pentacles. So I did want to say that if you feel like money has not come in for you yet, there might be a confirmation on the King of Pentacles that it'll come in this phase, and that might be why you feel like you are able to relax a little bit here and focus on more long-term goals rather than kind of the shorter-term goal of, how am I going to pay the rent? Do I need to worry about, where my money's coming from, etc. So I did want to say that. And again, just like a reiteration of divine timing is this King of Pentacles, I see it as a combination of the energy of the Seven of Pentacles, a nurturing energy, with the energy of the King of Swords, the practical and also assertive energy there. So it's kind of a combining aspects of yourself that come from these two phases of your life into becoming the King of Pentacles. And then we have one last card for you, which is just a message from Spirit about your overall spiritual journey in this lifetime. And I love this. It says, "This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before." And that's a quote by Maya Angelou. I love that. It's just like saying, like, I'm it's kind of like the one day at a time energy of the King of Pentacles here, and then just appreciating wherever you are in the present moment, like a very present, mindful energy of like, I am so grateful to be able to wake up, and at this new day, it's a new opportunity. It's an opportunity to have fun. It's an opportunity to enjoy myself. It's an opportunity to do whatever I want. Like every new day is a brand new opportunity to enjoy my life and to enjoy what I have accomplished. And I just love that. I love that for you, pile one. And with that said, that's where I'm going to leave your reading. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope it's offered maybe some insight or clarity for you. And if you did like it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how this resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content, and an Etsy store where I am currently doing private readings. So if you're interested in either of those things, the links will be in the description. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 1, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Ace of Stars, which is the Ace of Pentacles, this is going to be your reading for today, where we are taking a look at where you are at in your spiritual journey in this lifetime. We're going to take a look at some of your past energy, maybe past life lessons or growth cycles that you have been through so far on your journey. And then we're going to take a look at your present energy, like current lessons, and like the current cycle that you are currently in, and maybe get some guidance from Spirit about you know, what's going on and maybe what the lesson here is for you. And then we're going to get some advice from Spirit about the next phase or cycle that is going to come in after you are done your current phase. So with that said, let's get right into it. What can you tell me about... Do you want me to take this? Yes. Okay. All right, so we have the Knight of Swords. Oh, okay. Too many. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Whoa, okay. We have the Eight of Swords here. And then we're going to get your Oracle card, which says trickery. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah. Okay, this is interesting. Giving me some initial impressions right off the bat. Yeah, you might have, or you might be going through, currently going through a cycle that has a lot to do with honesty. It has to do with maybe like a fear of other people deceiving you or not being honest with you, and examining your own relationship with the truth, to put it that way. I think there's a lot of focus on interpersonal communications in this past previous cycle. I will say I'm gonna talk about this. We're gonna get in depth here. If you feel like this doesn't resonate for you at all, and you don't relate to this at all, then I would take that as an indication that this might not be your pile. So I wanted to say that. And I just looking at this Knight of Swords, I saw somebody pulling a rug out from underneath somebody. So you might have felt like someone came and pulled the rug out from under you. I'm hearing the Louis Capaldi song, oh, what's it called? Was it Someone You Loved? That I let my guard down and then you pulled the rug. That's what I'm hearing here. Just an intuitive thing. There's something else here that you might resonate with. You might have had to deal with a lot of people, or maybe like formative relationships with family members or other people in your close circle who have been very aggressive, who the energy of the Knight of Swords, it's not necessarily that that they would be deceitful. We do have the trickery card, but it could be that like the Knight of Swords leading into the Eight of Swords, it's like being afraid of confrontation, maybe because you've spent so much time around people who are like, have kind of maybe an aggressive need to be right, or an aggressive need to assert their opinion, or and it's not that they're wrong, it's just maybe like they might yeah, maybe just feeling the need to, you know, insert themselves and be like, you know, this is the right way to do it. This is the truth of this situation. This is, you know, this or that. And again, it could be that, you know, they're totally right. You know, the Knight of Swords is intelligent. They're informed, you know, so, but it could, like, if we're dealing with this energy and it's creating an Eight of Swords, this could even be saying like this person's energy is very like domineering, or and it can shut somebody down who is not I fully relate to this. I fully relate to that. I just want to say I fully relate to at least the Knight of Swords, Eight of Swords energy, like the idea that there's someone in my formative years who was very much in that energy, like I couldn't get a word in edgewise, and, you know, God forbid I ever say something that was like not factually correct, or you know, and it felt like I had to walk on eggshells around this person. And what ended up happening is I don't really talk to them. You know, because I learned it just wasn't safe to express any type of opinion, any type of broad generalization. It just was not safe to express myself around this person, because it was like they would just, you know, immediately be like, oh no, like that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's, you know, like, etc. And, you know, I don't know that it was coming from a place of maliciousness, but it, you know, it created like, you know, a fear of speaking up for me that I had to overcome. So I don't know if that resonates for you. That could be part of the message here. And the energy of the Eight of Swords is like a cage of fear. When fear holds us back from moving forward, when it's giving me kind of like a shut down type of feeling. It just like when our fears are so overwhelming that we feel like we can't open up to people because like we just can't make ourselves vulnerable, and it's like because somebody has legitimately hurt us in the trickery. Like the 8 comes right after the 7 when we have been deceived, we've been tricked, like we let our guard down and someone pulled the rug out from under us, and it created a fear. And if this is part of this lesson here is going to be about the lesson on the Eight of Swords is usually about, you know, about empowering yourself to kind of to work through whatever your fears are, because even though our fears are usually based on something legitimate that has happened in the past. So like fear is valid. It's valid to be afraid of certain things and to repeat sort of you know, like fears usually don't come out of nowhere. And I want to validate that. And at the same time, you know, part of the lesson here is that when we allow our fears to shut us down and shut down our heart chakra and prevent us from making new connections or opening our heart to other people, to the unknown, because it might be bad, then we're really kind of cutting ourselves off at the knees. You know, it's like it's a fear that doesn't serve us. It's not serving us anymore. It might have protected us at some point, being in this energy, but it's not working for us anymore. It's holding us back now. And there's a message about needing to break out of this and to have the courage, you know, to move forward despite whatever your fears are. Because you know, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the outcome, the fear of getting the bad outcome, like the future hasn't happened yet. You know, so you could get the good outcome. People could surprise you in a positive way, but you won't know that until you have the courage to move forward and do the thing that scares you, to put it that way. I'm sure you already know that because this is a past cycle, it's a past energy. You would have already worked through this stuff if this resonates for you. So, but I would say that's like the major part of the lesson here has to do with working through your fears that might have legitimately been caused by other people and their bad intentions, bad behavior, deceit, lies, trickery, someone pulling the rug out from under you, somebody that you trusted who betrayed that trust. Like that's a real valid thing that, like, to be afraid of, for sure, if it has happened in the past. And it's like the spiritual work here would be in learning to use discernment to be able to say, like, if somebody seems shady, I'm going to walk away from them because I don't want to deal with that anymore. But if someone's coming towards me in like a healthy and positive energy, there's a certain element of faith that I need to accept here, that yes, this person could hurt me, they could betray me, I don't know what the future holds. I'm not going to let that hold me back from making a good connection with a person who has positive intentions, to put it that way. And my throat, I'm having throat chakra stuff right now, so definitely an emphasis also on using your voice to stand up for yourself. The Knight of Swords here, using the sword of truth, you know, bringing honesty to a situation where other people might not have been honest. Grabbing that sword from the Knight of Swords' hands and saying, like, at least I'm going to tell the truth. At least I'm going to express myself. And I'm going to stand up and do that despite my fear, because it's important for me to do that for myself. Yeah, it's like saying, like, I don't need to sink to your level. I'm going to tell the truth. And that can be something that is very empowering. Yeah, it's kind of an energy of, even if I learn that not everybody is trustworthy, at the very least, I can trust myself. And moving kind of forward in that energy. So I hope this has resonated so far. We're going to move into kind of the current energy, your current life lesson, and we're going to start with the tarot. What can you tell me about pile 2's? Okay. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, okay, we have Temperance. Like that. Okay, well, we'll move the cards in a sec. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, we have the King of Moons. This would be the King of Cups. So Temperance and the King of Cups. I think that is a beautiful energy. It's particularly a beautiful energy to come after this phase, this cycle, to come after the Eight of Swords, to have Temperance and then the King of Cups there. I think that speaks a lot to your spiritual growth and your commitment to yourself here. I really, really like this for you. And I just, yeah, I think this is a really positive message here. And then we're going to get your Oracle card. Ooh, very nice. Okay. We have the Spirit of the South, which would be connected with fire, the element of fire. There's a passionate energy here. Yeah, I love this. Okay. And I will also say there's lots of 5s here. We have the 50 reduces to 5, 32 reduces to 5. Temperance is number 14, which reduces to 5. We do have the 8 on the Eight of Swords. But 5 is a number that's very much associated with change, and the Spirit of the South is also associated with change. It's associated with like rapid change. This is an excited, passionate energy, and the like the hand here is almost like someone raising their hand and saying like, "What about me? You know, this is my time. This is my turn. I'm going to focus on myself here, and I'm going to be really excited about it." We are feeling passionate about Temperance and the King of Cups here, like nurturing yourself, really showing up for yourself and advocating for yourself. This is if the past cycle had to do with feeling like a little bit trapped or held back in some way by the energy of the Eight of Swords, there's a message here about I am now in alignment with my soul's purpose, or I am in alignment with my divine path, working towards discovering and then pursuing my soul's purpose in this lifetime. So this is an energy of being in alignment with Spirit, which I love. And I think that the thing that you are taking action towards right now, and I do, Spirit's interrupting me to talk about, I believe it's currently Aries season, which is, I would associate with this type of energy. So Spirit wanted me to mention that. But what was I saying? The thing I think that you are currently working towards is figuring out what works for you. And so again, it's like how can I move forward in alignment with my divine purpose? What is my divine purpose? What do I want out of this life? What works for me? You know, and asking yourself those questions and then taking action towards, okay, what's the next step? You know, what is the next step along this road here? You know, it's a journey on the Temperance card. And I would say like the energy of the King of Cups and then this very fiery energy of the Spirit of the South. This is a more calm, zen type of energy. This is fiery, passionate, action-oriented. And then we have this message about balance. So I think there's a message about like learning how to balance your King of Cups side with the Spirit of the South side, like your fiery side with your watery side, to put it like your more emotional side, to put it that way. Which would just confirm for me this idea of coming into alignment with your soul's purpose in this lifetime. I think that yeah, it's raising your hand and saying like, hello, you know, hi Spirit, I'm here. I'm ready to tap into my soul's purpose. The energy of the King of Cups is very much in contrast to the energy of the Eight of Swords. Again, this is a shut down type of feeling. Like I would associate this card with not wanting to make new friends, not wanting to express your genuine emotions, like having a closed heart chakra, because of these past bad experiences, because you've learned that people are not trustworthy, you know, and so it's kind of close to just shut you down emotionally with the energy of the Eight of Swords. This is a past energy. We're working towards the energy of the King of Cups. This is an open energy. This is an energy of having a very open and balanced heart chakra, of being open to new connections, of wanting to have genuine relationships with other people, and it's a nurturing energy. It's very compassionate. It's the energy of emotional stability, emotional maturity, being able to talk about your feelings in a way that is, you know, that is compassionate and balanced, and very insightful. The King of Cups, someone who does follow their intuition, and it's like intuitively discovering what works for you in relationships. The King of Cups also has healthy boundaries, you know, and knows what is their responsibility and what isn't their responsibility. If you have had past connections where maybe other people were taking advantage of you, maybe the relationship was not fully balanced, you know, maybe you were giving more than you were receiving. You know, and the message of the King of Cups being here would be, you know, again, getting to a place where you know what your boundaries are, you know what your limits are, and wanting to have fair and balanced and equal connections with other people, where you are both bringing an equal amount of effort and compassion and love to the connection, whether that is platonic relationship, romantic, familial relationships, whatever we're talking about here. Is like the King of Cups has very balanced relationships, and it's a very compassionate and giving and generous energy, like being generous with your time, and you're being very generous with your energy, but in a way that works for you. You know, temperance, figuring out what works for you, how to balance this passionate, action-oriented energy of the Spirit of the South with this emotional side on the King of Cups here. And again, it would just be another confirmation. We're moving away from this closed off energy on the Eight of Swords to this more open energy on the King of Cups, with the understanding that you are protecting yourself as well with your boundaries, with knowing what works for you, and knowing that you don't need to earn love. To put it that way. It might be something related to this past energy. That's what just came into my, like, you don't need to do anything to be worthy of love and affection and the types of relationships that you deserve and want, you know, and that other people don't need to do anything to be worthy of that stuff either. You know, it's like love is an infinite resource, you know, and to be able to tap into that, I think is very powerful. So I wanted to say that, and then we are going to get some advice for you about the next phase, next cycle of your spiritual journey. So what advice do you have for pile 2 about this next phase of okay, they fell into my lap. Okay. Ooh, very nice. Okay. We have the Magician, and we have the Four of Swords. This is a very beautiful message. First of all, Spirit is with you. Spirit's working with you fully, 100%. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. You are very much spiritually supported. Whatever you're doing, like, again, a confirmation about being in alignment with your divine purpose. This next phase is you can relax because you have the power of creation in your hands, in your fingers, in your fingertips. Whatever you want, you can create it, and you can rest. You can rest easy, knowing that you are in this powerful energy of the Magician. I will also point out, the Magician is number 1, and then we have the Four of Swords, 5, change. You know, you have the ability and the power and the spiritual support to make any type of change you want in your life happen, and that's giving you a sense of peace and serenity here. On the Four of Swords, you can relax. You don't have to fight. You don't have to force. You have the power of the universe at your fingertips. And it's a confirmation, again, about very much being in alignment with your soul's purpose in this lifetime. That was a beautiful message for you. So I'm happy to see those cards for you. And then we will get an oracle card for you. Okay. we have the Boar, which says, face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. And I fully see you doing that in the energy of the Magician. The advice here is just to embrace your personal power, like whatever comes up in there, like an obstacle, a challenge, somebody else's energy, like whatever problem is coming up here, you know that, you know you have the confidence and the courage to get through anything here. And so it's like just being able to be in this energy of the Four of Swords, like recovery, relaxation, rest. You don't need to fight. You don't need to force. You can give yourself this sense of peace here. And with this moon here, there's a message about like knowing that you are very spiritually connected. And you have the power to do anything. You have the power to overcome any issue. You're very much in alignment with spirit. And you're going to be manifesting like crazy. Like this is a message of discovering your purpose, like doing some soul searching, asking yourself these questions, making connections with people in beautiful, very healthy relationships. You know, bringing this King of Cups energy into everything that you do. This is a process of discovery. This is a process of I've discovered my purpose and I'm working towards it. And because you know you can do anything, you can have whatever future, whatever outcome you want, you can do anything. Here, again, there's a sense of peace, stability, safety, security. I can just relax because I have the world at my fingertips. And if there's advice here, might also be to take a vacation. If that is something that is feasible for you, something that resonates for you, give yourself a break. You can overcome anything. You don't need to worry. Spirit is with you, and if you need to take a break or vacation, go for it. Like you deserve to take a rest after the hard work that you've done here. So that's the basic message, I think, of this part of the spread. And then we're going to get one more card for you, which is a message from your spirit guides about your overall spiritual journey in this lifetime. We have, enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things. There's a quote by Robert Brault, I don't know, but yeah, I love that. So basically, to take pleasure in life's little pleasures, because that is a part of embracing this energy of just enjoying life, being very present in the present moment. And it's, I know from my own experiences, like some of my most treasured memories were like, spending 20 minutes with somebody else in a way that was very fulfilling. So it's like giving yourself the time and permission to enjoy life's little pleasures, because they are like a major source of joy and fulfillment in this lifetime. So those are the messages that I have for you today, Pile 2. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. If you have enjoyed it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content, and an Etsy store where I'm currently doing private readings. So if you're interested in either of those things, the links will be in the description. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Ace of Swords, this is going to be your reading for today, where we are taking a look at your progress along your spiritual journey for this lifetime. So we're going to get some information about your past lessons, past cycles you've been through, maybe some lessons that you have learned in the previous part of your life, and then we're going to take a look at your present. We're going to ask about what your current cycle is, what lessons are you currently meant to learn, and maybe get some advice from your spirit guides on how to navigate the phase of your life that you're currently in. And then we're going to get some advice and guidance about a future phase or cycle that might be coming in next after you finish what you are currently working through. And with that said, let's get into the reading. All right, what can you tell me about? Okay. All right, so we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, it did come up as your first card here. What can you tell me about high threes, past energies? Okay, okay. All right, Spirit, do you want me to? Yes, okay. Okay, a bunch of cards fell out, a couple of them fell on the floor, and then the Judgment card fell into my lap, and I asked whether I should take it, and I heard yes. So we have the Ace of Swords and Judgment here. I think that this is a beautiful message for you. We are going to take your Oracle card and then I will get into it. Again, I do think you have been through a lot. Like, you know, if all the cards keep coming out of the deck, it tells me that, you know, there might not be like one specific lesson or one specific message, particularly with the Judgment card here. Like, I think that you've been through a lot of cycles. You've learned a lot of things. You know, your soul has gone through a lot of growth already along your spiritual path. And there's maybe like not one particular thing that that your spirit guides want to pinpoint or talk about here, because it's all relevant. You know, it's all part of your spiritual journey and it's all important. Every experience you've been through, every lesson you have learned so far has been important to your overall journey. So that's the impression that I'm getting based on how the deck has been behaving, and then the two cards that we do have here. So your Oracle card is, okay, this is interesting. We have Resistance here. So with the you know, my initial impression here might be that you may have, maybe one of the reasons why you've been through so much, you know, and your spirit guides are not necessarily pinpointing one thing in particular, might have been because it might not even be that you have been resistant to the lessons or the spiritual journey, or that you are, like, you might have been totally 100% willing to go on this journey and always doing the work, always. It could have been that, sorry, I'm kind of jumping around all over the place, but I'm getting more the sense that like life has just thrown challenge after challenge at you. You know, and you have just been soaring through it. Like, your just determination to get through any resistance. That's what's coming to me. You're like, with this, the powerful energy, the Ace of Swords, like just cutting through the resistance, you know, and being like, yeah, just met with headwinds. Like, every time you're trying to move forward and make progress, it's like, Spirit's showing me somebody who, it might have felt like you were not moving forward because they're showing me this bird's not moving forward because it's taking all of their power just to stay where they are, just to hold their ground against this resistance, this wind resistance. You know, so it's like this bird's just kind of hanging in the air, not necessarily like moving or rushing or, you know, seeming like they're making forward momentum, but it's taking all of their power and determination just to stay in the air instead of being pushed backwards by the resistance. That's what Spirit is showing me. If that is something that resonates for you, then it is definitely something that I think your spirit guides are in admiration of. The determination, the resilience, the willpower. Even if it has felt like you have gone through like a long period of time or many different circumstances where it felt like the progress was slow, or it felt like you couldn't necessarily see how you were moving forward, but you kept going anyway. And that is a rare quality and something that you should be proud of, in my opinion. And there is a quote associated with this card that says, you are the sky and everything else is just the weather, which I love. But it speaks to that adaptability, the determination to get through whatever resistance you might have been like meeting maybe repeatedly, you know, in your life. And again, like the message here is, Spirit has challenged you and you have repeatedly and consistently risen to that challenge. You like, I don't even know how to describe the feeling. I'm going to try to articulate this. There's a message on the Ace of Swords of combining your intellectual strengths, your intelligence, and your clever brain, your problem-solving skills, your analysis skills, combining that with a very clear and honest communication style, and your willpower and determination, combining those three things together to create an unstoppable force of momentum. It's clearing away this resistance. It's clearing away these clouds. There's clouds on the Ace of Swords as well, but they're clearing away. And it's like when you, okay, Spirit's showing me these clouds are parting to reveal the sword. And this hand is your hand. And you are reaching up to grab the hilt of this sword. And you are using it to create forward momentum for yourself, to cut through any resistance, to carve your pathway forward, and to reveal truths to yourself and others that have needed to be revealed. There might be a message here. Again, I think this is talking about like your overall spiritual journey so far. There's maybe not one specific instance that's being mentioned here, but there might be a theme here of maybe upsetting the apple cart, upsetting the status quo in some way, speaking truth to power, using your voice in a way that might have disrupted something, like an existing power structure or existing hierarchy, because it was truths that needed to be said. It almost is in a sense like it doesn't really matter whether the other person was able to hear or understand what you were saying. The important part was for you to say it. It's like empowering yourself to say things that are important for you to say, regardless of whether the other person takes in what you've said or makes any changes. To put it that way, that might be part of your spiritual journey so far. Because there are themes of honesty, truth, revelation, and clear communication. That is, it's a communication style that is honest, to the point of blunt or brutal honesty, like not caring if what you have to say is going to hurt somebody else's feelings, if it is the truth. And because it's the truth, it might need to be said and established as the truth in a way that it's like, it's bringing judgment to the situation, but it's not necessarily for the sake of being judgmental. It's for the sake of like revealing like that this is in alignment with what is morally good. This is in alignment with what is morally bad. To put it that way. I hope that is making sense. It's like Spirit has handed you the sword of truth, and you are choosing to use it for good, for something that is like a positive purpose, for advocating for yourself and perhaps advocating for other people if that resonates for you. And I will say, I said this for the other piles. If none of this so far has resonated for you, then your message might be in another pile. But I also am getting the sense, like for piles 1 and 2 so far, this part of their reading has been about a specific circumstance or relationship or life lesson. For you guys, this is more about like the overall message about everything that you have learned and worked through so far. And these are like overall themes and a message from Spirit that you have really overcome a lot so far. So definitely a message that your spirit guides are proud of you. So I wanted to say that, and then we will move into your present cycle and get some information about that. What can you tell me about, Okay, we have the 7 of Moons. This would be the 7 of Cups. All right, what can you tell me about pile 3's current cycle or lesson, please, Spirit? What can you tell me about pile 3, what's currently going through? Okay, and we have the King of Pentacles. Okay. So right off the bat, what's coming to me is grounding. There's a message here about learning how to ground yourself, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed or confused, especially if there's lots of emotional stuff going on. That's part of the lesson here. And then the Oracle card, I love this, okay. All right, we have rise. I love that. Okay. And we already know that part of your life's journey so far has been about needing to rise to the challenge, to overcome, to this might be like, again, like multiple cycles of rebirth, of growth, of learning, and just like again, challenge after challenge, and yet you continue to rise. You continue to rise above. You continue to learn. You continue to grow. You continue to use your voice, and just continuing to even just hang in the air, if that's all that you can do that day, just to not be pushed backwards. Again, that's what's coming to me with this. So we already know that about you. We already know you have risen to the challenge. You know, you're already rising above. And again, the tarot cards are giving me the sense of needing to ground yourself. And with this rise card, this is really kind of confirming for me that you are leaving this behind. If you resonate with this feeling of having met delay after delay, obstacle after obstacle, and having to continually, and even with this the Ace of Swords being the Ace of Swords, it's like having to continually start again. You know, having to continually start new cycles, continually rise above. The message of this card would be, you are leaving this behind, this feeling behind, the resistance behind. And this is like your phoenix moment, even though you have been constantly growing and changing, you know, but this is like, we're leaving this phase behind so that we can be in the energy of the King of Pentacles, where we don't need to fight against a resistance all the time, to put it that way. Also, I want to apologize if you can hear the truck outside. It always seems to come around when I'm filming. I'm getting lots of messages and I don't want to stop filming your pile because I don't want to forget anything. So I'm just going to try to talk over it. Hopefully it's not too distracting. There's a message here that you are being... the courage, bravery, and determination, especially the determination that you have shown in overcoming these obstacles in this previous part of your life, and like again continuing to do so even when it might have felt hopeless or like you were not making forward momentum. Like getting through this part has shown the bravery and courage and that you have needed to go through this transformation, it's basically, the message of this card is basically you have everything that you need in order to move forward into the next cycle, like in order to like fully leave this part behind. You are going to emerge from the ashes in your Phoenix moment as somebody who, again, like you no longer need to be worried about. This may be something that you're currently going through. Is there might be a fear of returning to this phase, backsliding, going back to an old cycle where it feels like there's constant resistance all the time. There's a message here that's not going to happen again. You're leaving this behind. So I want to, reassure you, you will not be going back to this. Even if you're currently feeling some confusion or maybe a feeling of like feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now, or confused about how to move forward, or maybe there might be a message on the Seven of Cups of, because the Ace of Swords is detached from emotion, there might be some heart chakra healing that needs to happen here. I would say with the fire energy on this card and all the determination here, like your solar plexus is probably pretty healthy. And it's just, there might be some, like now it's time to also work on opening your heart and dealing with emotional stuff, processing your emotions. And there's a connection with cups to emotions, relationships, and spirituality, your intuition, connecting with spirit. With judgment here, we know that you may have had some significant spiritual experiences. Judgment, I would say, like this, whatever you've been through in the past has been in alignment with your spiritual journey. It is for your spiritual development that these things have happened. And this is saying like this phase is an opportunity for you to give yourself clarity about how you feel. Like dealing with your emotions, opening your heart back up, learning that it's safe to love again, it's safe to have these connections. You can trust your judgment, you can trust your discernment when it comes to other people, when it comes to certain relationships. And if you want to set an intentionality about reaching out to Spirit for help in how to use that discernment, or how to open up your heart chakra, or how to connect with people who are in a healthy energy, you can do that. Asking your spirit guides for help might be something that resonates for you. And there's also advice on the King of Pentacles. You know, it's saying like this might be your current energy on the Seven of Cups. The advice here is on this King of Pentacles. This is, you know, the transition from this Seven of Cups energy into the very grounded energy of the King of Pentacles would be to focus on grounding and focus on the physical moment, like bringing it back to the present moment. What can I do right now to help ground myself? Like, for example, if the idea of having a bunch of different doorways or pathways open to you feels overwhelming, and like you're like, well, there's too much because I can do anything. I feel like I have to do everything, or I feel like I don't know which pathway to choose or where to go or what to do next or any of that stuff. Again, the advice is on the King of Pentacles. Take a practical approach and bring it back to one day at a time. You know, if you need to make a priorities list, make a pros and cons list. That is absolutely something that a King of Pentacles would do, because it helps kind of bring things from the mental into the material. I'm writing something down. I'm making a physical list. Helps put things into a material form, give it a form or a shape. That might be helpful in terms of organizing your thoughts. If you're struggling with feelings, thoughts or feelings, too many options, feeling confused, writing things down might be something that is like a practical way to process things. So journaling might also be helpful for you if that is something that resonates for you, or even sharing your ideas with somebody else, speaking them out loud. Again, like bringing it into the physical world is what I would say is probably the advice on the King of Pentacles. You know, the physical world, grounding, and there's also a reassurance with the King of Pentacles that I want to mention, that if you have also felt like you have been struggling to make ends meet financially, the message on the King of Pentacles might also be a reassurance about a steady source of income, if that resonates for you. So financial security, you know, it could be to the level of financial abundance, but at the very least, the King of Pentacles is somebody who represents financial security, stability, being responsible with money, being practical with money, if that is something that that resonates for you. And I also want to point out the King of Pentacles is also somebody who is very commitment focused, very committed, dedicated energy. It's like, I'm going to show up every single day, one day at a time. I'm going to make stuff happen. This is long-term goals, long-term success on the King of Pentacles. And it's like this process of proving your determination over and over and over again is being represented here on this King of Pentacles. It's very dedicated energy in a healthy and balanced way, whereas before it might have been like to the point of exhaustion, to the point of burning yourself out. The King of Pentacles is like saying, I'm going to do what I have to do to support my long-term goals, but I also am practical and responsible in terms of self-care. I'm going to do my daily routine, my self-care routine as well, because I know that if I give all of myself to something, then I don't have anything left for me, to put it that way. So I don't know if that resonates for you. That's an additional message there. And there might also be a message, you know, I could see this kind of both ways. You know, I am seeing that the King of Pentacles as representing your energy, the energy that you are moving towards, and the energy that's going to help ground you and provide stability and structure during a time when you might be feeling confused or overwhelmed, or like you are trying to open your heart chakra after a period of time when it was not safe for that to be open, so it maybe shut down emotionally so you could get through this process. Now we're opening it back up because we recognize that we have gotten to to a safe place. You know, you have gone through a transformation where because you have a very strong and open solar plexus, you know that you have what it takes to stand up for yourself and advocate for yourself. So now it's time to open yourself up emotionally, you know, however this resonates for you, and then grounding it with the King of Pentacles. There could also be a message. The King of Pentacles can also represent somebody else. So and I would say, if I don't think it's exclusively somebody else. I think you are being represented by this King of Pentacles, but there might be an additional message that there might also be somebody else who is in a King of Pentacles energy. Yeah, again, very grounded, very practical, very committed energy, who you might recognize as a mentor or a teacher, somebody who would be happy to help you and to give advice. The King of Pentacles is excellent at giving advice, particularly practical, down-to-earth, everyday advice in terms of, here is a concrete thing that you can do to support your long-term goals. So if you recognize somebody like that, I think that there might also be advice here to ask them for help if that resonates for you. So I did also want to mention that. And then we are going to move into the next part of the reading, which is some advice for the next phase or cycle. What can you tell me about? Okay, so we have the Five of Swords here. Advice or guidance do you have for... Okay. Okay, I love this. I know that I don't want you to panic about the Five of Swords because there is a wonderful energy here with the Fool. I love this message. So, and it's interesting because I don't know if you noticed, but what I said was, what can you tell me about the next phase or cycle? And then we pulled the Five of Swords, and then I asked for advice or guidance, and we have the Fool here. So I am going to get your Oracle card. But an initial first impression is, sorry, pile 3, the truck got really loud, so I had to wait to say what I wanted to say. Something's gonna come up that is going to challenge your sense of security and stability. Might be a person, it might be a situation, an environment that is like in a negative, toxic energy, like a conflict. And what's interesting is I described this hand reaching up to grab this sword, and this is your hand grabbing this sword and using it to fight for yourself, to fight through any resistance, to advocate for yourself, using your voice, having a sense of clarity, and like using all of the tools at your disposal. Again, your intellectual mind, your honest and clear communication style, and your willpower and determination to get through this difficult period of time in your life. This is your hand holding this sword here. People are coming at you. They're coming at you to try to threaten your sense of groundedness, your sense of security, this new version of yourself that has emerged from the ashes of your old self. Something's going to come in to challenge you. You have your hand in your sword, and it's like, with the Fool here, it's not like you are easily able to defend yourself and your energy, and it's like you're not even going to engage. You're just going to be like, nah, like, no, like, F that, I'm gone. Like, I'm out of here. Like, no, I'm going to jump off this cliff rather than deal with this stuff again. You know, like, I'm seeing, I used to play Breath of the Wild all the time, like the Zelda game, and there's a mechanic in the game where you can use, like, kind of a glider to glide off of a cliff, and I am seeing Link, like diving off a cliff and just, like, flying off into the distance. Like, nope, I'm not dealing with that. You know, like, an enemy pops up out of the ground, and he's just like, nope, bye, you know, like, I'm not doing this today, you know, it's like a not today energy, you know, and I just love that. And it's like, it's such a sense of confidence, like, you know, you're just like, no, I'm going to defend myself. Like, you can't come at me like this. Like, what are you doing? You know, and it's like, you can easily defend yourself, but you're just like, what's the point of engaging with this? I'm just going to go off and do my own thing. Like, I'm just going to take care of myself. I'm focusing on the future. I'm moving forward. I'm moving on from this. I don't have to engage with this. It's like a, you know, the other thing that popped into my head is we don't negotiate with terrorists. Like, I'm just gonna, like, no, bye. Like, I'm not dealing with this. And I love that. That's my initial first impression. I just love that. It's such an empowered energy. And it's like, I think that might be like one of the reasons, you know, why you've had to go through this kind of like a repeated cycle of this, which you might recognize, like this being a big theme in the past, you know. And it's like you're taking some time to ground yourself, figuring out how to open your heart chakra. And it's like, this is, you know, people coming at you because they see how you have healed and grounded yourself, and you're opening yourself back up, you know. And people don't like that, you know. They're gonna try to take that from you, and you're just gonna be like, no, bye, like, get out of here. You know, what are you doing, you know? And I just love that. And it's like, you needed to go through this part to get to this part, you know. And it's beautiful. Like, you're standing up for yourself in a way that is very, very much in alignment with your soul's purpose. And I just love that. I'm not even worried. I'm not worried about this. And the Oracle card is interesting here. We have the gorilla, which says, take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. Okay, so this might be saying, maybe part of the reason why this part of your life was so challenging is it might have had something to do with family members or people who were very close to you when you were going through like formative part of your years. It might not have been literal family, but might have been, you know, some like really close, important formative relationships. It's like, take the time to listen compassionately to those you love. Yeah, there's a message about it might be walking away from people who are in a negative or toxic energy, for sure. If you need contact with somebody, for sure you can do that. There's a concept called loving detachment that I learned about in therapy, that I have had to practice with people in my own life, where it's like, there are people in my life who I will always love. Because people are usually not like cartoon villain levels of evil. You know, our relationships are nuanced. You know, people are complicated. There can be really positive aspects to our relationships, especially with family members. You know, we have positive memories, loving memories. There are people who might have hurt us really badly in very traumatic ways, who have also loved and nurtured us in other ways. And so, you know, again, it's not always as clear cut as, you know, this person is evil and I never want to talk to them again. It can be like, you know, because I love you, I have to detach from you emotionally. Because I love you, you know, because I love you, I have to put distance between us. If I want to maintain this relationship, I'm setting this boundary. Like, I need to do this for myself, and it's because I love you and because I want to maintain this relationship with you. And so there might be a message that's related there to that concept of loving detachment. It is a sense of emotional detachment that you're doing because you love somebody and you're not ready to fully cut them out of your life. That might be something that resonates there. And then there's a kind of if you would recognize that the Five of Swords here might represent conflict, particularly conflict with family. If you would recognize this as being part of the message here, something that's trying to come back towards you, the energy of the Fool would be, it might not be like again, like totally cutting this person off or like, you know, running away from the situation or just walking away from this person. This might not be no contact. This might be, we're approaching this situation in a totally new and different way. We are approaching this situation in an energy we have never been in before, with a strategy we have never used before, and it's based on compassion. It's based on compassion for the other people and compassion for yourself. And so, you know, while I think you are being encouraged to learn to use what you have learned with the Ace of Swords, Judgment, Resistance energy here, of advocating for yourself and really prioritizing yourself and your own self-care, and bringing that into the situation, making sure you are always maintaining your boundaries in whatever way you need to, and at the same time practicing compassion for the other people in your life. And I want to also mention something that was very helpful for me. I don't know if this will resonate for you, but it might resonate for somebody. I had a lot of anger and resentment towards certain family members, and then I read the book Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, and it really, really helped me release my anger, because it helped me frame the behaviors of these family members as something that was coming from a place of immaturity rather than a place of maliciousness. You know, and it's like, again, it doesn't absolve the other person of their behavior. It doesn't take the responsibility away from that person to heal and grow themselves. But it helped me put stuff into context that I previously had not had context for. And because, you know, the book explained things in a way that helped me understand, oh, this is because this person has an unhealed child trauma wound that they don't know how to heal, that they think that they don't have the capacity to heal, you know, and they don't have the capacity to face this stuff. And it's not because I deserve to be mistreated, or because they hate me, or because they don't care about me. This is a capacity issue on their end that helped me release some of that anger and approach the situation with more compassion than I would have had otherwise. Again, while still maintaining my own personal boundaries and sticking up for myself where I needed to. So I don't know how helpful that is, but that is kind of what this is reminding me of. It's like approaching the situation from a new perspective. That is saying, like, if I recognize this Five of Swords energy as something that has something to do with my family or people who are in my life, were like formative relationships, very significant relationships, if I recognize this, I need to approach the situation differently. And it might have something to do with compassion and empathy, from understanding where the other person is coming from and why they are acting the way they are acting. Again, as not to say that the other person doesn't need to take responsibility for their actions, or that it absolves them of blame, or any of that stuff. But it's something that might be healing and helpful for you in order to release anger, resentment, feelings of blame or self-pity that might be causing you pain, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that's really kind of the advice here for the future. I think that's really interesting. I hope that has resonated and has been, you know, a helpful message. I think there's reassurance again on the Fool here that whatever's happening on this Five of Swords, you're going to be able to rise above it. You know, you're going to be bringing on a completely new approach into it, and you will be able to move on from it totally unburdened, like fully in a new, fresh energy. It's like your Phoenix self is fully able to rise above this situation and bring compassion towards it, while at the same time not needing to engage with it with your own, you know, your own sword. Like, this is again bringing me, like, I'm going to protect myself, but I'm not actively fighting the other person or people or whatever situation's going on here. So that's what I wanted to say about that. And then we're going to get one last message from your spirit guides about your overall spiritual journey in this lifetime. And it is, oh, I love this. There are flowers everywhere for those who want to see them. And I love that. It's a message about being able to see the beauty of the world because you are choosing to see it. I love that. I think that's a beautiful message. So hopefully this reading has resonated for you, pile 3. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you did like it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos, you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content, and an Etsy store where I'm currently doing private readings. So if you're interested in either of those, the links will be in the description. And thank you very much for watching Pile 3, and I hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 4 and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Ace of Wands, this is going to be your reading for today, where we are taking a look at where you are at in your spiritual journey. We're going to get some information about your past, so past lessons, karmic cycles, phases that you have been through. Then we're going to take a look at your current phase, maybe what lesson you are currently learning, and get some advice from your spirit guides. And then we're going to take a look at maybe a future phase or cycle and get some advice from spirit about how to navigate that. And with that said, let's get right into it. So half the deck came out, but one card fell face up, and it was the Ten of Swords. So this being here tells me you have been through a lot. That's the first message right off the back. Okay. Then we have, oh, I love this. Okay. Moving from the Ten of Swords to the Page of Cups, or the Page of Moons in this deck, is a beautiful message. It's like we're ending a painful cycle and choosing to embrace a positive, optimistic, like open energy, and that is beautiful. I think that I want to say, like, the Ten of Swords to the Page of Cups transition. This takes so much courage. This takes so much strength of character. This is something that I think is very, very admirable and beautiful. So I want to say that. And then the Oracle card that we have for you. I love this. We have waterproof. I love that. Okay, so this is basically giving me the impression that you are a very empathic person. You tend to take on other people's emotions and energies. That is something that is natural and innate. And what you have learned or needed to learn how to do is how to let other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions wash over you and not take everything in all the time while still remaining open. And that is extremely difficult. That is something that is to be admired, like something that I think that you should feel really proud of. It's a difficult journey, and with the Ten of Swords being here, it has been a difficult journey. You know, it has probably been a painful process, needing to learn how to protect your energy, how to set healthy boundaries, how to not get dragged into other people's drama, other people's learning how to get away from codependency, from caretaking behaviors, from always taking in broken birds, you know. When you are a natural empath and a natural healer, it's extremely important, and it's extremely difficult. It can be very painful. Learning that we can't heal everybody, that we can't fix everybody, that there are a lot of other people who just don't want to be fixed, or they're not ready to change. They don't take our advice. They don't make the changes that we suggest, and they love coming to us for our healing energy and as leaning on us for support. But unfortunately, it can really drain an empath's energy. It can really burn us out. And just being crushed under the weight of other people's feelings would be something I could see being represented on the Ten of Swords. And the message of the Ten of Swords is it's a painful ending, but something is ending. We are no longer taking on other people's energy. We are not doing that anymore. It's been a tough journey to get to the top of this hill, but now we are on the other side. We are seeing a beautiful horizon on the other side where, we know we don't need to do this anymore. We're moving away from this. And I get the beautiful energy of the Page of Cups being so open and expressive, and having such a big romantic side, and so expressive, creative, and being able to do that while also being waterproof. Again, this is a beautiful energy, and I love that for you. So I have a feeling that you already know this, but there is a confirmation and reassurance from Spirit that this is over. You are never going back here. You are never going to be in this specific Ten of Swords circumstance again. You are waterproof. And that is something that is probably not going to change. You have fully learned this lesson. And that's beautiful. And I do want to say, I said this for the other piles, if this doesn't resonate for you, this might not be your pile. But I just think that there's an energy on the Page of Cups of empowering yourself to express all of your feelings. There's a message with the Page of Cups that it's usually associated with positive feelings. Feelings of love, romance, creativity, positive, like having a very positive attitude. However, the cups represents all of our emotions, be they positive, negative, pleasant, unpleasant, and it's a page, a messenger. So there's a feeling of expressing all of your feelings, whether you think it's going to be something somebody else wants to hear or not, you know. And so that might be part of the lesson here, has been learning to share all of your feelings and not just the quote unquote positive ones. And that's a part of the journey of self-love, self-acceptance, self-esteem, and self-compassion that I think has been integral to developing this waterproof coating that this bird has. You know, is the Urban Crow Oracle. The crows have like kind of a waterproof feathers. You know, their feathers have a coating on them that the water can't get in. And so developing this waterproof, like letting things wash over you, you know, without having to take that energy in. And then also expressing things that need to be expressed, because that's part of your self-care. That's practicing a passion for yourself. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to keep rambling on about it if I don't stop myself, because I just think it's such a beautiful message and a beautiful lesson, a beautiful energy, and your spirit guides are proud of you. Okay. Fell into my lap. We have the Three of Wands. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Flew right out. Oh, I love this. Okay. Yeah, we have the Three of Wands and the Star. That's beautiful. We are going to take your Oracle card. There's a couple of ways to read this, you know, and it's reminding me of like a lesson that I have recently also been relearning again. So, so we'll talk about that. But the Oracle card that we have for you is, okay. So we have karmic debt, which is interesting. You might currently feel like you are in an energy where you are repeating an old pattern or relearning a lesson. And that's what's interesting, is that I was connecting this to a lesson that I have currently needed to relearn. You know, you know, the message that sometimes like lessons that we need to learn will keep showing up wearing a different pair of pants, you know, until we really integrate and internalize what the lesson is here. There's a message with this card that the overall lesson is really just that you have the power to break out of patterns. Like you have the power to do something different and make changes, and you can empower yourself to do that. You can empower yourself to break out of a cycle of karmic debt. You know, you don't have to engage with it. You know, you can choose to do something different. You can choose to approach your old patterns and old behaviors and do something differently. And I can see that you are doing that. But you might currently be in an energy where you're like, why is this coming up again? And the message is so that you can open your mind up to the possibilities of ways in which to approach this situation differently, if that makes sense. So there's a message here. You're not doing anything wrong. You know, if you feel like you've had kind of a run of bad luck, or like the consequences of past actions might be showing themselves right now, in a way that that you're like, well, why is this happening? You know, I thought I was doing everything right. The message is that it's happening so that you can release a pattern or behavior and do something differently. That's part of it. And then there's also a message with this card about practicing self-compassion, which with the Page of Cups, I think that you are already doing, you know, and with the energy of the Star here, like I feel like you are already embracing that. there's a message that with this card to pay specific attention to the difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is saying, I have done something wrong. Shame is saying, I am wrong. There is something wrong with me. And shame is a destructive feeling. It is not healthy. It is an unhealthy feeling. It is an unhealthy behavior to experience that feeling of shame that usually comes from and contributes to a cycle of low self-esteem. And so if you would recognize yourself as experiencing some sort of shame or maybe shameful feelings bubbling up, there's a message here to reframe it, coming from a place of maybe taking responsibility for something that you might feel guilty about and reframing it as, this is something that I did. It is not something that I am. I do not feel have to feel like I am in constant debt to my past bad decisions or bad choices. If I was in an unhealthy pattern of behavior, if I was being self-destructive in some way, if I had a habit of taking on too much, whatever might be related to this past cycle, whatever you might have said or done, I might have created a bit of a karmic debt. You do not need to internalize that into a place where you feel like a bad person. And there's a message of needing to get away from that mindset, and just there's like self-compassion, self-acceptance. And saying, I take responsibility for the things that I did in the past. I'm going to apologize and try to make things right to the best of my ability, and then I'm going to let it go, because I don't need to take it with me moving forward. And that's a process of healing that's being represented on the star card here. And I think it's interesting that this person is mostly submerged in water here, and the star is connected with the water bearer and Aquarius here. Like the healing power of water might also be important for you here, but it's like, yeah, there's acceptance here, and there might be a need also to feel your feelings, with the tears flowing down here, with the Page of Cups here, being very connected to your emotions, and again being able to express all of your feelings, whatever they are, and just letting them pass through you so that you can release them without needing to overly identify with whatever thing you may be feeling. And then there's also a positive message on the Three of Wands about, about starting to see your rewards coming in. This is a message about positive karma, and seeing manifestations come in, and the things you have been working hard for, being attracted towards you, the law of attraction. You're starting to see things that you want coming to fruition, materializing in the physical world. There's a moon here. I would associate that with also like spiritual support, spiritual protection, spirit, like the universe coming forward to meet you halfway when you are doing whatever you need to be doing to attract positive things into your life. Beautiful positive message there. The star, hope, faith, healing, and looking towards the future and saying, like, I feel positive about this, and I have faith that good things are coming my way. So I do think that's part of the message. If you resonate with that, I think that might be the message in itself. But I did want to say that I did want to mention something that I have currently been going through, and because it might resonate and be relevant to somebody. You might be going through a process where the process of waiting for things to come into alignment might have felt like it's been taking so long, and it's really difficult to be in an energy where we're continuing to be open to things coming in towards us, continuing to practice faith and divine timing, and that we are being spiritually supported, that things are going to come in towards us in divine timing. That can be a tough process, and to continue to hold faith when things are moving slower than we thought they would, or things aren't happening the way that we wanted them to, or it can be tough to hold that faith. And there might be a message here. You might believe it has something to do with karmic debt, seeing this as a transactional thing, and that might be a perspective that needs to be released, if that resonates for you. Only take that if it resonates for you. Might be for like just one specific person who's watching. Otherwise, I would take my initial interpretation of these cards as the message here for you. And only you would know how it resonates. It's a general reading. So with that said, I do want to take a look at the next phaser cycle and get some advice for you about that. Just bear with me. Tell me. Oh, okay. I love that. We have the World. Okay, very nice. Okay. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So we have the World and the Seven of Swords. Honestly, this might just be a message about, you know, we're leaving behind a phase in our life where there was trickery and deception. Because we are being honest with ourselves and others and bringing honesty towards all of our relationships. And also, we are very spiritually connected and able to use our discernment to not take on other people's stuff. You know, like we're not vulnerable. With waterproof, we are no longer vulnerable to every energy that comes in towards us, to people who come towards us to put a sword in our back. You know, we are waterproof from that. We are protected from that. Even though we are still open. And so the simple message here might be, we are graduating from a period of time in our life when there was lots of deception and backstabbing. That might be the simple way to read this. There might also be additional messages. We're going to take a look at the Oracle card, and I'm going to shift your cards over because I just realized that we do not have enough room. Okay. So we have the Mountain Goat, which says there's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to do to correct it. Which I like that. And, you know, I was gonna mention, you know, that the Seven of Swords can absolutely talk about, the Seven of Swords can definitely talk about somebody else coming in who is, who has bad intentions, who is lying, who is not being honest, who is trying to trick us in some way. It can talk about that. The Seven of Swords can also talk about self-deception, things that you are intentionally or unintentionally hiding from, you know, things that you are intentionally or unintentionally sabotaging for yourself. You know, there's a message there might be on a more personal level, and with there's something out of balance in your life. There might be something to this Seven of Swords. This is a future, something that you might not know yet, or might not, like, this is your next cycle. So we're just getting kind of a glimpse into what the advice here might be. There might be something that's going to happen soon where you might not want to move on from something. You might feel like you know that it's time. Part of you knows that it's time to end something, walk away from something, move on to something new, do something different with your time and energy. Like you have closed out a cycle in a way where it's like all the loose ends are tied up. You've learned everything you need to learn here. It is 110% time to move on, but you don't feel ready, or there's something scary about it, and it's, yeah, with the Seven of Swords, there might just be a message like needing to get really honest with yourself about, you know, what you might be holding yourself back from in terms of moving on to the next thing. And so the thing that might be out of balance is your desire and maybe like kind of a fear of the unknown type of thing. There's a message like you have the courage to get through this phase, but yeah, there's just your spirit guides taking the opportunity to draw your attention to when you know it's time to bust out of your cocoon as a butterfly. You got to be honest with yourself about that and just take that leap. Just take that leap. You know, and with the message of the star here, having faith in the universe that when you leap, the net will appear. So I think that's the basic advice there with those cards. And then we're going to get one last card for you, which is just a general message from your spirit guides about your overall spiritual journey in this lifetime. And the message is, think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world, by Miyamoto Musashi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. There's a message there is a message, you know, not taking yourself too seriously, and also I think having fun along your spiritual journey, and with it, and think and deeply of the world. Like there is a message also of, and with the world here, like having a deep sense of compassion and caring for the entire world and everybody in it, every soul on this planet, feeling deeply connected to the world, and maybe like a consideration for global issues that might be important to your life's purpose, and to do that in a way that is altruistic and selfless, while also practicing self-care and self-compassion. So I love that. I hope that that you have enjoyed this reading. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos, you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post bonus videos and an Etsy shop where I'm currently doing private readings. So if you're interested in either of those, the links will be in the description. And thank you very much for watching Pile 4, and I do hope to see you in my next video.